The draw for the last 16 of the 2023-2024 Champions League was officially held on Monday, December 12, 2023. The draw was guided by UFA representatives and former Chelsea defender John Terry. In accordance with UFA rules, the champions and runners-up will face each other in the last 16, but two teams will coming from the same group and country cannot face each other in the first match. FC Porto will immediately face Arsenal. The Portuguese representative will undergo a tough test against the Gunners, who are currently in top form. Then Barcelona will face Napoli. This meeting is an interesting match, which will be presented in the round of 16 of this season's Champions League. This match will be a meeting between the two top European League champions. This year's last 16 match will be the second meeting for the two teams in the last 16. Previously the two met in the 2019-2020 season with Barcelona out as winners with an aggregate of 4-2. The dark horse team, Real Sociedad, will be challenged by the French giant Paris Saint-Germain, even though PSG appeared quite faltering in the group stage, but they have big ambitions under the direction of Luis Enrique. Meanwhile, Real Sociedad has the status of group winners. D could also be a stumbling block for Les Parisians. Then there is last season's Champions League finalist Inter Milan, who will be challenged by Atletico Madrid. The meeting between the two teams will be one of the balanced duels in the round of 16 this year. Apart from that, there is also a duel between PSV Eindhoven and Borussia Dortmund. The same as the dark horse team, the meeting between the two teams is predicted to be interesting. The next one is Zio, who will meet the German giant Bayern Munich. The duel between the two teams can be said to be unequal, with the great strength of Bayern Munich against a team that is currently struggling in the domestic league, although Lazio will not give up before competing. Bayern Munich has qualified for the knockout phase with the status of winner of Group A, while Lazio has advanced to the last 16 after being runner-up in Group E. Judging from the results in the group phase, Bayern Munich is clearly the favorite to advance to the last 8, let alone Bayern Munich also has better experience by regularly competing in the Champions League. Lazio is determined to prove that they can talk a lot in the Champions League. This determination is also present because Lazio has performed poorly in Serie A this season. They are still struggling with being in 11th position apart from Bayern München versus Lazio. A different meeting also took place in the match between Manchester City versus Copenhagen. The Citizens, who are the defending champions, will be challenged by the surprise team runner-up in Group A. FC Copenhagen is not a foreign opponent for Manchester City. History records that the two teams have met 4 times, with Manchester City are unbeaten with 2 wins and 2 draws, and in the final draw, La Liga giants Real Madrid will be challenged by German dark horse team RB Leipzig. Although statistically Elra is more dominant, Leipzig, which often provides surprises, is predicted to be a bit difficult for Carlo Ancelotti's team in the meantime. Even though it presents classy matches, many netizens are disappointed with the results of the draw for the last 16 of the Champions League this season. Some even think that the draw for the last 16 this season is so boring because there are no matches, and it is the worst in the history of Manchester City's meeting against Copenhagen. What is most highlighted is that the duel between the two teams is considered one-sided because the defending champions met the least favored team, Copenhagen, which is strengthened by players of Indonesian descent. Kevin Dick qualified for the round of 16 as runner-up in Group A, while Manchester City qualified for the round of 16 as winners of Group G. Manchester City's match against Copenhagen is claimed to be very easy to predict. The last 16 of the